have banded together to mount a rogue offensive aimed at defeating the sitting president of their own party. They call themselves the Lincoln Project, named for the party of Lincoln.
Trump, big bad former president, known for his tough guy persona, actually shedding a tear? Yup, you heard it right. After catching wind of the latest parody ad by the Lincoln Project, it seems even the man with the golden coif couldn't hold back the waterworks. It's a moment that's got everyone talking and wondering what exactly went down in that ad to make the Donald reach for the tissues. Let's dive in and find out.
God said, I need a corrupt man who is above the law and immune from justice. So God made a dictator. God said, I need a man who will use violence to seize power. So God made a dictator. God said, I need a man whose followers will call black white, call evil good, and call criminals hostages. So God made a dictator.
God looked down and said, I need someone who's mastered the art of failure in everything but deceit and empty promises. They'll live in a palace of gold and convince the struggling masses that they're their savior. And thus, Trump was made. The Lincoln Project stands as a beacon of democracy in the U.S., committed to safeguarding the fundamental rights and liberties. The battle against the grip of Trumpism has only just commenced. During the week of Labor Day, the masterminds behind the Lincoln Project, a super PAC formed by Republican operatives who've turned their backs on their own party to take down President Donald Trump, established a war room in a location far removed from Washington, D.C. This group, led by consultants Steve Schmidt and Rick Wilson, had been directing their relentless campaign against Trump, deploying the same hard-hitting ads they'd wielded against Democratic opponents throughout their careers. One such ad, dubbed Regret, starred comedian David Cross enumerating a laundry list of Trump's shortcomings: the blatant racism, and the crass sexism, and the deranged narcissism, and pandering to Nazis. In a jaw-dropping moment in Regret, the ad that's been setting screens ablaze, there's a scene so shocking it'll make your jaw hit the floor. Amidst a backdrop of chaos and calamity, a voice cries out in anguish, declaring their profound regret for ever casting a vote in favor of Trump. It's a moment so spine-chilling, so utterly mind-blowing, it's as if the heavens themselves opened up to deliver a thunderous condemnation of past mistakes. You won't believe your eyes when you witness this cinematic masterpiece of regret unfold before you.
I am starting to regret my vote for Trump.
This category of message targets Republican voters, aiming to convince them that Trump's perilous and divisive tendencies pose a threat to the nation. Meanwhile, there's another breed of ads strategically crafted to rattle a single individual, none other than the president himself. Take, for instance, Shrinking, a direct address to Trump, spotlighting his infamous Tulsa rally in June. This ad cuts to the heart of the matter, daring to confront Trump head-on about the consequences of his actions. You've probably heard this before, but it was smaller than we expected. In the poignant ad Shrinking, the weight of its words resonates like thunder as it addresses Trump directly. With each carefully chosen phrase, sad, low energy, weak, the ad not only reflects on Trump's demeanor but also casts a shadow over his presidency itself. It's a powerful reckoning, a mirror held up to the highest office in the land, revealing cracks in its foundation. And perhaps it's this unflinching portrayal that strikes a nerve, prompting tears from the man behind the title. After all, confronting the truth, even through the lens of an ad, can be a bitter pill to swallow.
And can't deliver. Sad, weak, low energy, just like your presidency, just like you.
Even fans have been joining the chorus of dissent against Trump. One vocal critic remarked, "For the last 4 years, he has done nothing but insult just about everyone. Now it's his turn." And the Lincoln Project founders understood they were hitting a nerve when the president began his predictable tirades, taking to Twitter and the airwaves to lash out at them, predictably labeling their organization as the Losers Project. Considering themselves as Trump anthropologists, the founders of the Lincoln Project meticulously anticipate the president's missteps, accumulating a treasure trove of material ready to be unleashed at the opportune moment. A recent advertisement titled POW, skillfully juxtaposed images of honorable military service with Trump's disparaging remarks toward members of the armed forces.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay?
No, Donald, you're wrong. They are heroes because they were captured.
Coincidentally, the ad premiered shortly before The Atlantic revealed Trump's alleged comments during a 2018 visit to France, where he reportedly declined to visit an American cemetery and referred to fallen soldiers as suckers. In the wake of the ensuing public outrage, the Lincoln Project swiftly responded, urging their followers on Twitter to showcase what real heroes truly look like, using the hashtag #WeAreSpectVets. Have your or someone in your family served in the military? Let's show, at Real Donald Trump, what real heroes look like. #WeAreSpectVets. Within a mere hour, the hashtag surged to become the leading topic in politics on Twitter. On September 9th, 2020, the Lincoln Project unleashed an ad targeting South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham titled Parasite, featuring grim footage of devouring maggots, accompanied by a narration mocking Graham's unwavering loyalty to Trump. Parasites don't care if they feed off a good host or an evil one. During one of their routine morning gatherings, Rick Wilson, the outspoken Floridian strategist known for his aggressive ad campaigns, was approached by a reporter who questioned, "What do you guys say when people think that you're using the same harsh tactics and language that Trump uses?" Wilson said, "I was like, who gives a fuck?" I was like, dude, I'm not running for president. Steve Schmidt, the seasoned political operative behind John McCain's 2008 presidential campaign, and now a vocal critic of Trump on MSNBC, reminded the group of Trump's history of insults, from Gold Star families to the disabled. Despite the criticism, the project remained steadfast in their endorsement of Democratic candidate Joe Biden, airing positive ads highlighting his qualities, such as decency.
It's time for decency. It's time for Joe Biden.
The Lincoln Project founders deliberated on how to strategically target their advertising efforts in crucial swing states like Florida, Arizona, and Pennsylvania. Stuart Stevens, a seasoned advisor with experience from 5 presidential campaigns, proposed a focused approach. Basically, look at it like we're running 3 governors' races. He cautioned against trying to tackle every issue at once, emphasizing the importance of efficient resource allocation, noting that attempting to boil the ocean would be counterproductive. An excerpt from Bob Woodward's latest book, Rage, had recently surfaced, revealing that Trump was aware of the severity of the coronavirus as early as February, yet continued to downplay its threat, even claiming it would disappear. In response, the founders swiftly decided to address this revelation through social media and produce a concise video highlighting the disclosure. While in discussion, the project's communications director promptly tweeted the hashtag #TrumpKnew. Within moments, the hashtag skyrocketed to the #1 spot on trending topics before the meeting had even concluded. Filmmakers Fisher Stevens and Kareem Amer, alongside producer Amy Redford, arrived to document the project's endeavors. Stevens, a Hollywood actor and outspoken liberal activist, had initially contemplated creating anti-Trump ads himself. However, he found that every idea he conceived had already been executed by the Lincoln Project. Reflecting on their relentless output, Stevens exclaimed, "These guys were out there every day putting out a movie," he told me. "I thought, who are these fucking people? Who is doing this stuff?" Mike Madrid, one of the founders who specializes in analyzing voting patterns, initially joined the GOP as a young Latino with hopes of empowering his community. In the late 90s, he served as the political director of the Republican Party in his home state of California. Despite his dedication to Republican causes, Madrid was dismayed in 2016 when colleagues and friends found justifications to support Trump, even after his disparagement of immigrants. When Schmidt publicly parted ways with the party in 2018, he took to Twitter to denounce the administration's policy of separating migrant families at the border. The administration's policy of separating migrant families at the border was connected to the worst abuses of humanity in our history, including slavery, and said that the current GOP represented a danger to our democracy. Similarly, Galen's apprehensions about Trump intensified as he witnessed the president deploying unmarked officers against Black Lives Matter protests. To him, this represented a stark departure from Republican principles, with federal power being wielded unchecked at the state level. Ron Steslow, the project's sole millennial founder and a political strategist, has emphasized the sobering reality faced by his generation. My generation is being forced to learn that democracy cannot be taken for granted. The Lincoln Project boasts an impressive 2.3 million Twitter followers, a figure nearing the count of the Republican Party's official account. By Election Day, they anticipate reaching 1 million email subscribers. In response to every prominent attack from the right, the founders swiftly distribute new fundraising appeals. So there you have it. Trump, the tough-talking, never-backing-down president, brought to tears by none other than the Lincoln Project's latest parody ad. Who would have thought that in the wild world of politics, anything can happen? And if this reaction is anything to go by, it seems like those relentless ads are really hitting home. So, grab your popcorn, sit back, and let's see what twists and turns the next chapter of this political saga brings. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.